Hi, this is Catherine Dubberly, the Answer Lady. I'm continuing in the series of making all-over fabric design by painting, but this time I'm going to remove color rather than add color. And to do this, we use gel bleach. Some modern fabric paints will work very well on synthetics, but bleach is old-fashioned. It only works reliably on natural fibers, and I just about always use cotton. That's what I'm using here. For this painted sweater, I'm removing color rather than adding it. I'm going to use this. It's a Clorox bleach gel, and use it on a china or glass plate. This is Corelle, so it won't hurt it. And just squeeze out a little bit because we don't want it sopping where it will bleed all around the edges of our rubber stamps. You can also do this with stencils, but today I'm rubber stamping. This blouse is already assembled. Normally I would do the pieces separately, but I wanted not to stop at the side seams. You can see where I've been around it. So because of doing that, I needed to fill it with a plastic bag so as to protect the other side from damage. You're going to also need, if you have sensitive hands at all, disposable plastic gloves. I found I could stay out of the way of the bleach, so you will see me not using them. I don't do well with gloves, but it still is a smart idea. And paper towels, because we'll have to clean up the rubber stamp each time we use it. Now, no smearing, patting only. Pat it down on the plate. Check. That's not very thoroughly covered. Try again. Okay, I think I see the gel everywhere. Place it with one motion where I want it to go. No wiggling, but plenty of pressing. You can sort of see where I've been. I wish that I had gotten more gel there, but I'm not going to try to replace the stamp because that's almost impossible to do well. If it doesn't bleach, I can always dab my sponge in it and touch it up or use a bleach pen. Now, just to be safe, I'm going to wipe the edges of my stamp so it doesn't make a mess the next time I use it. I'm using 3 different stamps in 3 sizes and slightly different from one another. And you will be able to watch the bleaching action occur as I work. That was a nice clean stamp. I'm going to use this one again. And put it over here. I did the back of the sweater first. Now I'm working on the front. The hem, armholes, and neckline are not finished. I'll do those afterwards. Here's my 3rd stamp. All of these came from Hobby Lobby. They're in the kids' craft section. And they're very inexpensive. You couldn't see me do that one, I'm afraid. This one was $1.99. Let me clean up its edges and use it again. The littlest one is the best one to use in the shoulder areas, I think. That should do it. Maybe I'll clean it and do the other shoulder while I'm at it and work down from there. You could sketch out where you wanted your designs, depending on what kind of a design you're making, with something easy to remove like chalk, or even just place pieces of construction paper in a design and lift each one to put your rubber stamp down. And that is totally fine if it makes you nervous to work like this. Let's add a little bit of gel. But honestly, I've found I do just as well or better – designing it as I go. Okay, hard push. The bigger stamp, of course, takes more pressure. You need to move your fingers around, but never move the stamp around. See my first one starting to bleach? Is it fading out in the picture? It is in real life. And once we have completed this and the bleaching process is done, we have to wash all the bleach out. You want it to stop. There's not a big problem with it continuing or running because bleach eventually just loses its effectiveness. And after it has bleached out, you can leave it a two-color sweater. And I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this one. But the other option is to add color into the white spaces with fabric markers or crayons. Time for some littler stamps to enter the picture. Since it's paisley, I like to be sure I'm turning things different directions every time. The kind of higgledy-piggledy nested look, I think, is what makes paisley look attractive. Perhaps a big one in there. And a little bit more gel. Which way should I go? I think I'm going for this. There should be room for one more big one in here somewhere. Like that. This one, as I feared, my very first one, did not work out quite right. I'm going to attempt to perfect it with this sponge. It doesn't look bleachy enough. I can see wetness going on. I'm not sure whether the camera is going to catch it. But wetness is good. That means there's bleach. And I only want a thin line. I don't want it to be a big blob. It hasn't got to be perfect. But that should more complete the paisley shape. Here's a sweater I made many years ago using this bleaching technique. But this one, I filled in the bleached areas with fabric crayons and markers to get the multicolor design. Here's the sweater with the bleaching completed. I still need to finish the neckline and the hem treatment and give it a good washing. But you can see how the fabric turned out. I really quite like the effect.